Hi everybody, it's Diana, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and stampingwithdie.com. I want to thank you for joining me today for this week's Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. And yesterday I did a super cute retro gift card holder. And here, let me show you. And I'll show you it when I flip the camera too. But so that was retro. So what do we say retro is probably, hey Marcy. So retro is probably what, the 50s is what, that's what I think of when I see, you know, Coastal Cabana and the real red colors together. So now we're gonna go way back. So just keep that in your mind while I'm flipping the camera. So today we're gonna go way back before retro. So just keep that in your noggin. All right, so let me flip the phone and we'll get started. All right, hold on. This is always fun every week. The weekly flip of the phone. All right, hold on a minute. I don't want you looking up my nose. All right, so let's go. Let's go down, down, down. Ta-da! All right, I'm going to just, whatchamacallit, I'm gonna refresh my group and make sure that I can see everybody. Okay, all right, very good, I can see it. All right, so let me get my mouse out of the way. All right, just a little bit of an adjustment, and it wants to just keep going up. I almost need to get a what is it, bungee cord or something. Okay, so that looks better. That's better. I think I was messing with it at the wrong place. Okay, so let me just show you. All right, so this is what we did yesterday on my Facebook Live. Super cute little retro elf. He's already, it's a gift card holder. And I just explained how to make it, and I'll go over it again today. But what I did was I keep my directions inside one of the little envelopes. And then I just tuck my card away so I can go back to it in the future. So if I want to make more. So I've got a bunch I was messing with, and I have more cut to go. But like I said, I wanted to do something further back than retro. So let's think, what was it? I Love Lucy, before we got color. So these are the colors I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using the going gray. And I'm going to use basic gray and basic black and whisper white. So hopefully you can kind of see where I'm going with my card in regards to when I said way back gift card. So let's get started making the gift card. All right, so it's the same as yesterday. A 5.5 by 8-inch card scored at 2 and 5. And then what I did do, and I didn't probably say yesterday, after I score the 2 and a 5, I just take a smidge off right here, and it folds a little better because sometimes it will just catch a little bit. And it's just probably when I am cutting my paper, I'm not cutting it as accurate maybe. So just that little tip. All right, let me get a little piece of paper. Now these are actually, if you like these little tiny grid sheets, they are the small grid paper. And they're just number 149621. They actually go with the Stamparatus, but I like to keep them on my desk because sometimes I hate messing up a whole grid sheet and then I throw it away. So this is just perfect. You know, you have your perfect amount of space for stamping or whatever. So, all right. So here we are. We're going to get started. All right, I am going to. So now I'm going to use Smoky Slate for my snowflakes. So it's basically like I did yesterday. So I'm getting my edges first because I want to keep the back of the card nice and plain. And now I can finish stamping my snowflakes on the front. All right, so that was Smoky Slate. And the stamp set, if you didn't see my video from yesterday, let me show you. Sorry, I should have told you what I was using. All right, Snowflake Wishes is where this snowflake came from. And then Don't Stop Believin' is what I'm using as well. All right, so let me set those over there, and hopefully I don't drop them. All right, so while I have the snowflake out, I'm going to stamp on my, these are the little inserts to go inside. So I'm just going to stamp in the corner of each while I have my stamp out and while I have the pad open. All right. And then I'm going to use the Whisper White craft pad. Now this is the old style pad, so you open it up just a little differently. It comes with the refill, so you get the ink pad and you get the refill, and you just refill it. And I love the white pad. It adds like an opaque look to certain things. You just want to let it air dry. You can heat set it with your heat tool as well. Usually I just let it air dry. So, and like that's what I'm going to do today. All right. Then I'm going to put my white snowflakes, and it looks super cool. Oh, let me close it. Hold on a minute. It looks super cool on the Going Gray. And I'm just stamping them right over top of the other snowflakes. Okay, now I'm just going to set this aside to dry. All right, let me close my pad, get it out of the way. All right, so I'm going to flip this over because it has a little bit of the white craft on it, and we want to keep everything clean. All right, so this is just a medium envelope, and I'm just sealing it closed just like I did yesterday. So I'm glad I muted my phone totally without any vibration, because somebody just tried to call and it would have been jiggling all over the place. All right, so I have glued this shut. Now I would take it over to the paper cutter, and I will come in 3/8 of an inch on this side. Then you'll flip it and you'll cut in 3/8 of an inch on the other side. And what that gives you is like a 5-inch envelope by 4 3/8 inch envelope. And then all I did was scored it in the half on the half. So if you saw the video from yesterday, this is just basically reminding you. All right, so I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to, I know I'm like such a visual learner. A lot of times I got to see something a couple times. So hopefully it's okay that I'm doing the same thing. I'm just switching it up. All right. So then we're going to put our green tip glue on the envelope, because this basically makes a little pocket inside your card. And then you can fold it, give it a second. And you could stamp on here. I probably should have stamped on there first. And I'll show you the finished one. And I did stamp on the inside. All right, then open that up, put your green tip glue on the other side, and close it. And then open it again, and now we're just going to glue these two together, and then just close it. So then I'll just set it aside so that it will like really set up. All right, so then we want to go to the fun part. So I'm going to be using the same cute little elf that I used yesterday, but this time I cut the elf out with the Hippo and Friends. So he's got a different kind of shape to him. And we are going to make him be black and white. So this is before the color pictures, before retro. All right, let me move that stuff out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using, these are the blends that I'm using. I stamped with a Memento ink pad on the Whisper White thick. And I'm going to be using light and dark gray granite. Let me get them together here. So the light and the dark gray granite. And I'm going to be using the light and dark smoky slate. And I'm using the light basic black. And I'm also going to be using the color lifter. I don't use the color lifter tons. I use it especially if I make boo-boos, but I don't use it tons because sometimes if you use it too much, I find sometimes it will bleed out a little bit. So I just use it sparingly. I try not to make too many boo-boos when I'm coloring. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my light gray granite and I'm going to basically color a lot of the little elf. So I'm just kind of getting the little elf colored a lot with the gray granite. I'm leaving some white areas because we're just making this be a black and white card. So you have his little shoes. You have the little lights. So I'm just, and see, I'm not totally coloring it in. I'm leaving a white space. But this is just going to lay down some color. And little hair. And the little face. Hang on a minute. Get the ears. I always forget the ears, even when I'm doing black and white. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of go around the face. And you're going, boy, this looks messy. There it looks like, oh, look, you could actually add a beard. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be funny? Okay, so I'm just going around. Then I'm going to start adding my other colors. Okay. Now I'm going to take my dark smoky slate. Let me see. I'm going to scoot down a little bit. I forgot to scoot it. I forgot to scoot it, people. All right, you always need to remind me. Scoot it, scoot it. Okay, so you can see where I went around with the light gray granite. So now it's the dark smoky slate. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to hit some areas where it would be darker. Like here, I'm going to make the little, whatchamacallits. The lights have a little dark spot, but we're just adding just some dark areas around the little face would be a little darker, the neck area. And if you aren't sure like how to do your shading, I suggest you just put something on your desk. It can be anything. It can be the remote control, whatever you want. And then off to one side, put a light and just have it reflect on the remote control or whatever you have. And just look at how the lights bounce off of that item. And then that is basically kind of what you're doing when you color. You just have highlights and lowlights where things will reflect. So the legs would have a little dark here because the pants kind of go over it. Right here where the pants are here, there's pants there. So I took art class in school. Now, Marcy, do you take art in school? I think you did too. I'm not sure if we were in the same. Hey, Virginia. I don't know if we were in the same class. My mind is not very good. But we had some really good art teachers in high school. So I kind of reflect on those studies. I think art class was one of the classes that I really paid attention to. I probably was the worst student because I don't have a very good memory. Math was horrible, still is. All right, so that was the dark smoky slate. Now I'm taking the light. Oh, now, and that's the thing. So I remember, stuff from art, but it was basically the art stuff. Like history, I don't know the history so much. Although when we went to Italy and I got to see the Statue of David, that was something that I would have never thought I would have ever been able to do, and earning the incentive trip got us there. So that was quite a experience to be standing there looking at that statue after learning about it in art class, although I probably can't tell you about it, but I remember. I'll never forget that feeling anyways. All right, so this is just a light smoky slate, and I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just going around and I'm adding some color. Not tons. You don't want to overpower it. Okay. All right, and maybe just a little bit there. And I am going to go back again with the gray, the light gray. I'm just kind of getting my colors down. But isn't it already looking so cool? I love it. All right, so now with the dark gray granite, I'm going to hit just a few areas. Not a whole lot. I'm going to flip it over. I have a little bit more control with my pencil size instead of the brush. All right, so I am going to color in all the little tops of the lights. Let's see here. And I'm still leaving like a white area. I'm not making them all the way colored. Let's see, did I get them all? I swear, I'm always like, I'll put a card together after I'm done and I'm like, oh, look, I missed that. How did I miss that? All right. Then I'm going to take the light basic black. Now, like I told you that day, the light basic black, the basic black Stampin' Blends in general are so very dark. So you have to be, kind of careful when you use them. So I'm going to use mine to do the light cord. Hi, Anne. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around with the light cord and just kind of like a light touch. And I'm just following that. And then I hardly even touch the paper. I just have it. I mean, it's obviously touching the paper, but you kind of want to just do it like light, and the paper will suck up that ink. You just don't want to like hold that in place too long. All right, and around his head. Okay, so there's the light, and usually I forget some of the cord, but I think I got it all that time. All right, so then I'm going to go back to my light gray granite that I used at the beginning, and I'm going to put just a little bit more in the face, not tons. Now this is when I'm going to take my color lifter, and I'm just going to lightly go around the face and that will blend in those colors a little bit together, but will like soften the face up, but still leave some color there. So if you touched something a little bit too much and you want to lighten it, this is what you're going to use your color lifter for. And it will just soften some of those areas. It will soften some of your lines. All right, but I think I like the way the little elf looks. Now, if you want, if you have a gel pen, you could add gel pen to it. But I think I'm just going to leave her as she is. But I am going to put some Wink of Stella. So like I did the other day, I know it's Wink of Stella, but I always just say Wink of Stella. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did the other day. So I'm just going to, I want a little bit of shine, but it's not adding any color. It's just adding a little shine, a little twinkle, a little sparkle. And I am just going to go around in a circle, around the lights. And that's just going to make them glow. It's going to make them look like they are shining. And then just let it dry for a second. I'm like shaking my Wink of Stella. I'm going to give it a little squeeze. You don't want to squeeze it hard, but you want to squeeze it just a little bit because I've been using her a lot. All right, so let it dry just a second, and then you can go over again, and it will double sparkle. So let's double sparkle the little lights up. All right, super fun, super cute. Let me lift it up so you can hopefully see. So can you see? I don't know if the camera, oh, see, you can kind of see a little bit at that angle. But anyways, isn't she so adorable? Now, if you want to have a little, like if you think, well, that should be darker or that should be darker, then you can totally, you know, go back with your smoky slate. Where is my dark smoky slate? And you could put a little bit under her hair right here. So you can like even add more if you want. Sometimes I do. I go back after things have settled, after things have, you like that, Virginia? I'll start putzing around with it then. All right. So that's the little elf. All right. So let's go back to the card. All right. So just like I did yesterday, I'm using the little swoosh. Did we decide it was called a swoosh? From the Friesen Friends. So that's where I got the little swoosh from. But then I was talking to Marcy, and she did a cute card like this. And now Marcy is my friend. She's on here. So if you are watching from Canada and you need anything from a Canadian demonstrator, holler at Marcy. So she has always good ideas. So she's your Canadian connection for sure. So she was using the Pinewood Smush, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And this even has a really cute. So then I thought, I'm going to look in the catalog because maybe you don't have the Friesen Funds, but you want a little swooshy thing. All right, so look at this one, the Be Mine Stitched. And you might have this one because this one's been out a little while. Look at how cute this one would be. So it wouldn't be the swoosh, it would just be a straight line, but it still would be adorable with that stitched scallop on the bottom of it. Super cute. All right, so that was one. So let's see what else I found. Okay, so Special Day. So Special Day is fun, right? With the raccoon, and there's a, oh my gosh, is there a squirrel? There's a bunch of little critters in it. And it has grass. And I thought, oh, how cool. That would be so cool to have like little pieces of grass like hanging down and do it with that. What else did we find? In the Woods also has a curvy doohickey too. All right. Now this isn't like a swoosh like the other, but this one, this is the Ornate Layers. It has some amazing patterns. So as long as your die, because these are not just a line, these are actually shapes. But as long as it's long enough, you can just, make the die, cut it off, and just use that edge. So just, look at your stash of stuff, see what you have on hand, and I bet you have something that would totally work. You might even have an old punch that would work too. All right, but I kind of like the little swoosh. It kind of reminded me of a fancy wallet or a billfold, whatever you call them. All right, so I just have this on here. So now I'm going to fold this down. And then you can kind of decide like how much you want it to stick out. So I want it to stick out just a little bit more when I fold it down. So I like it to come out probably that much. So I'm going to use my green tip glue. And I'm going to put a little green tip glue here, just a little bit, because I don't want it to be too much. I got almost too much yesterday when I was fiddle farting around. All right, and then lay it down. Lay it down so we'll catch that glue, and then just hold it a second. Just hold it a second. We can chat amongst ourselves. Da, 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 da. All right. Give it a good push. All right. That should be good. All right. Then open it up, and then I'm just going to trim off my ends that overhang. So to me, it looks kind of like a fancy wallet with this, right? Like a nice little leather wallet. All right, so we have that. Then we have our belly band. So the belly band is 7 1/4 by 1, just like yesterday's, scored at 2 and 5 and 1/8. And I chose to do the basic black. And before I put that on there, let me glue my little things on here, and then I can actually put them inside the card. Okay, now I'm using my, whatchamacallit, what is this, fast fuse, just because I have so much of it. I need to use it up. All right. I love adhesive. I have so much adhesive. So I need to just use it. All right, so now I'm going to stick these in here, inside. So that would be your little greeting, where you stick your little gift card. Somebody said even cash, and I'm like, yeah, that would be awesome. Put some cash in there. All right, so then we're going to put our little belly band, get our green tip glue again, put your little bit of glue here, and a little bit glue here. And then just hold that in place. And then the little elf is going to go on the front. And I'm going to be using the basic black, whatchamacallit, dimensionals. Just because this is black, so I just want it to match. All right, so that should be good. So I'm taking the little baby ones, just because that's what I had open. And I'm sticking them on the card. So you want to stick them on here, not on here. Just in case you put them in the wrong spot, then you would be gluing it shut. So you don't want to glue it shut. You want your person to be able to get their gift card or their money, right? All right, unless it's a check. Maybe you don't want them to cash the check. Then glue it shut. All right, so look how cute. That is totally so stinking cute. Here's the little black dimensionals I was talking about. What's cool is you get, and I don't know if people necessarily know this or not. All right, so you have the black Stampin' Dimensionals. You get 4 thingies in there. You get 2 babies and 2 mamas. Isn't that good? That's a deal. That's a screaming deal, I'll tell you that much. All right, so look how cute. So here's the one I was looking at. I always have one to look at. So let's see. So we pull that off. So see, this one I did. I stamped the little white snowflakes, and you could do that. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. And let's see what's in here. Oh, look. An Amazon gift card. Wonder where that's going. I know where it's going. All right, but I want to say and spoil any secrets or any surprises. Okay, so super, super cute. Super, super cute. Before I go, I have a couple, I always have to talk about extra things. Host code, don't forget the host code for November. If you don't have a demonstrator, you want to use, in the United States, you want to use that host code. I also want to remind you about the Country Inkers Virtual Spring Social. Registration has started, and that's virtually on Zoom and in our private Facebook group. So March the 27th. We also have super cute, very comforting pumpkin, paper pumpkin. So if you are you like to have something to do every month, but you don't want to cut, you don't want to have to think about it, paper pumpkin is the way to go. So if you want the little one that has the bears, you want to subscribe before December the 10th. And then there's the information in regards if you want to subscribe through me. And then the catalogs, like I mentioned yesterday, these catalogs are amazeballs. And for the Country Inkers Virtual Spring Social, we will be using stuff from the mini catalogs. So I will be sending out that list of the stamp sets that you'll be getting and the celebration item that you'll be getting. If you want a catalog of your own, just make sure that you have purchased from me in the last 6 months, that's June, since June of 2020, at least $50 before tax and shipping, and then you'll get a catalog in the mail. You also want to make sure you shoot me an email with your proper mailing address, because we got a new online store, so some of the mailing addresses haven't copied over like the shipping addresses. So if your mailing address is different, definitely give me a holler if you are interested. If you are local, I'll have a bunch of catalogs to be able to pick up in December. If you think I'll just come grab one so you don't have to mail it, just let me know. All right. I think that's all I had to show you today. I have all my little stuff all over the desk here. All right, let me say see you later, alligator, like I did yesterday without touching the phone. So hopefully you'll make some in black and white too, because then they go with everything, right? It's like that little black dress or whatever, or that tuxedo. But I thought they looked cute, because look at, they're just so adorable. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna make some more. So hopefully you had fun today, and I will see you Friday for my dies shorts, and that is in the Facebook group. I almost said it wrong. That's in my Stamping with Die Facebook group. So if you're not a member, make sure you join that, and then we can chat on over there as well. So have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you Friday. All right? Bye.